this name inspires you with power. For example, if I say to you, for example, I'm talking to you in the name of the Prime Minister, it means I'm authorized to say what I'm saying to you, and I have a backup from the government of Australia. This is just an example. So when we say in Islam, Bismillah, it means as a human being, I have no right to talk to any other human being except what is allowed. What is allowed means I have to make sure I don't hurt anybody verbally or physically in order to be a Muslim. That will say Bismillah, I'm dealing with you in the name of your Creator. And when we say Allah, it is the name of the only one. When we close our eyes and look in our depth, we know that somebody made me. And it has a purpose for that, because everything we make as human beings, it has a purpose. There is a purpose for the glasses I'm wearing right now, to make my vision more clear. There is a purpose for the shoes we are wearing, to protect our feet. There is a purpose for the cars we are driving, to get where we want to go. There is a purpose to have a dog, to protect or to hunt or some other reason. There is a purpose to build a house. What is my purpose as a human? What is my purpose in life? And who can tell me that? Only the one who created me has the right to tell me how to live the life he gave to me. And once we submit to that, in Arabic we call it Islam. Islam means the complete submission to the will of the one who created me and the universe in which I live and utilize. That's the meaning of Bismillah. And when you say Bismillah to start something, you have to do it according to His will. And the will of God is for us to be there for one another, under any name. And that's why I said in the beginning, Bismillah, and then I say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the first conversation ever a Muslim will say to another human being when we meet. We say to them, Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. Harm will never touch you from my end ever. Not physically or verbally. That's the meaning of Assalamu alaikum. It was the greeting of the Prophet Jesus Christ when he met his disciples. He used to say to them, Shalom aleichem, meaning peace be with you. So this word is a word of positiveness and hope that another human being that can benefit you in your life. That's the meaning of salam. And Islam simply means become free. Don't be controlled by someone. Don't be controlled by something. But be controlled with the one whose control is the best for you. Just like we control our children, not to exploit them, but to make the best out of them. And we all need that. Someone to guide us and show us the way. This place named Masjid. And Masjid in Arabic, we call it Ism Makan, the name of a name given to a place. And sujud means to prostrate. In Arabic, sujud is like this. I will show you what is sujud. Ruku is when you kneel. This is ruku. You bow down to show honor to somebody. And you go even further, we go to sujood. And sujood is when you do this way. Your toes, your knees, your two palms, and your forehead, and you're not touching the ground. This is sujood. And masjid is the place you do this. If any place you make sujood, it means you submit. This is the lowest you can go to be down to earth, to put yourself under somebody's respect. We do this only to God Almighty. In Islam, you don't bow to nobody, only to the one who created. Anything else made for you. Humans are made for you. You pray for them, but don't pray to them. The sun is made for you, the moon, and the entire universe. So we prostrate to the one who made them for us. The whole universe is saving all of us. So don't bow to someone which is saving you. And we all know it that everything exists is saving the human being. So we don't bow to our servant. We bow to the one who we serve, which is God Almighty. So this is the meaning. Masjid means the place you make sujood. And sujood means you have submitted mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, socially. I mean, you told God, I will live my life according to your will because you created me. You have the right to tell me how to live my life. As we know, by law, what you invent is yours. What you invent is yours by law. Who invented me? And usually I ask the children at the school, what car do you drive? Somebody say, oh, I'm driving Honda, Mazda, BMW, Mercedes, Toyota. I said, okay, let's pick one. Toyota. What is Toyota? It is a car. No, it is somebody's name who invented that engine from Japan. And his name is Mr. Toyota. He invented this before anybody else, and he sold it to me and to you. And he told us how to use this engine. We call it the user guide. Toyota will say, put oil here, and we submit to that. Put water here, brake fluid here, power steering fluid, and we do submit. Change the oil every few kilometers, and we do that, we submit. We don't say to Toyota, Toyota, look, you made the car, but I bought it, now it is mine. I put what I want, where I want. I will put in the place of the oil, I will put Pepsi or Fanta here. I will not save it at all. What will happen to the car? It will see, we lose our money and lose our car because we don't submit to Toyota, who knows the engine more than all of us. We submit to Toyota, we submit to Honda, we submit to the doctor when we go to the doctor for sickness. Okay, who made this engine? Me and you. Who made this engine? Allah. He knows the engine more than anybody else. That's why he says, I made this, I made you. Your heart that is beating 70 times per minute. Your lungs, your automatic camera, every place inspire people. When you go to the library, what comes to your mind? Automatically, you feel like it is a place for reading. You become quiet, you don't run, you don't scream. If you go to the bar, what comes to your mind? This is a place for drinking. If you go to the discotheque, what comes to you? Place to be noisy, chanting and dancing. If you go to the Parliament House, this is a serious place. You have to watch what you say because whatever you say in this room, this house, the nation will hear it. So places inspire people. Masjid, once you walk into a masjid, you know this is the house of God Almighty. Don't claim it yourself. And anybody comes here, you have the right to do what is right to this house here. It is a place for submission, and you are to be silent so the believers can focus. This is a place you don't ask anybody, who are you and what you want here. It is the house of God Almighty. Anybody have the right to come here to learn about Islam. And I will finish with this story. A Sahabi named Imam bin Affan. He was someone who was doing his best to get the Prophet Muhammad assassinated. And he did his best to come to Medina night time, hiding from place to place. But somehow, the Sahaba, the disciples of the Prophet got him and they brought him to him. Look at the wisdom of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Human beings who are enemies to what we don't know. Sometimes you hate somebody because you don't know the person there. And then we have this assumption, and we forgot that everybody is innocent until proven guilty, but we are enemies to what we don't know. Sometimes we fight against something, and later, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. So they don't know the Prophet Muhammad. So the Prophet told the Sahaba to lock him in the masjid. They kept him in the mosque for 3 days. And the Prophet used to feed him. all the time. After 3 days, the Prophet said to the Sahaba, set him free, let him go. And this man, he left, and he came back. And he said to the Prophet, you used to be the person I hate the most. Now I love you the most. Your city used to be the place I hate the most. Now I love Makkah the most. Islam is what I used to hate the most. Now I love it the most. Why? Because I have seen the Muslims now. 3 days he spent in the mosque to observe the Muslims, how they behave, what they do in the mosque. And he saw people dedicated, brotherhood, sisterhood, supplication, and you name it. And then he changed his mind. So masjid means a place you come to be more connected with God Almighty, because sometimes we fall in love with materialism because we go just shopping and this.